The morning sun reflected off Westwood Financial's glass tower, casting diamond patterns across Wall Street. Inside the executive suite on the 45th floor, the air hummed with power and privilege. Bankers in custom suits moved with practiced efficiency, their luxury watches catching the light as they prepared for another day of high-stakes deal-making. Into this cathedral of wealth stepped Noah Chen-Williams. The young man's presence created an immediate contrast against the monochrome backdrop of corporate America. His half-Asian features were striking beneath carefully styled dark hair. While his clothes were quality, dark jeans, a simple button-up shirt with rolled sleeves, they signaled at Silicon Valley rather than Wall Street. Colorful tattoos of binary code and circuit patterns peeked from beneath his cuffs, and a small rainbow pin adorned his leather messenger bag. The receptionist's professional smile flickered as her eyes assessed Noah. Her manicured hand paused over her keyboard. "Can I help you?" The question carried an unmistakable subtext: "You don't belong here." Noah approached the marble desk with quiet confidence. "Good morning. I have a 10 o'clock with Morgan Harrington in the executive team regarding the quantum algorithm presentation." His voice carried the precise diction of elite education beneath its casual tone. The receptionist's eyebrows arched as she glanced at her screen. Her expression shifted from dismissal to uncertainty. "Mr. Chen-Williams, I'll need to see some identification, please." Noah slid his ID across the counter, the holographic security features catching the light. The receptionist's eyes widened slightly as she verified his identity against her system. "The executive team is gathering in the main boardroom." Her tone had transformed completely. "Would you like coffee while you wait?" Noah declined with a polite smile and took a seat in the waiting area. He felt the curious glances from the passing executives, some dismissive, others calculating. He wasn't here to apply for a loan or beg for investment. The algorithm he'd developed could predict market movements with unprecedented accuracy, potentially revolutionizing the entire financial industry. Several major institutions were competing for exclusive rights, but Noah was selective about his partners. He wasn't just evaluating Westwood's financial offers, he was assessing their culture and values. As he waited, Noah observed the environment, the aggressive masculinity encoded in every design choice, the homogeneity of the people moving through the space, the subtle signals of exclusion woven into the very fabric of the institution. These were the invisible algorithms that had governed Wall Street for generations, and they were precisely what Noah hoped to disrupt. What Westwood's executives didn't yet understand was that Noah wasn't simply offering them a tool. He was considering whether to acquire the entire institution and transform it from within. If you believe that true worth can't be judged by appearances, take a moment right now to like this video and subscribe to Heart Stories, where we bring you powerful narratives about identity, dignity, and the courage to challenge broken systems. Comment below if you've ever been underestimated based on how you look or who you are. Well, what do we have here? Did someone's intern get lost on the way to the coffee shop? The voice cut through the reception area like a cold blade, deep and mocking. Carter Reynolds, Executive Vice President of Investment Strategy, stood with his arms crossed, his 6-foot frame impeccably presented in a bespoke Brioni suit. At 40, his salt and pepper hair and chiseled features embodied Wall Street success, and the contemptuous smile playing on his lips suggested he owned not just the room, but everyone in it. Noah rose to his full height, extending his hand with professional courtesy. "Noah Chen-Williams, I'm here for the quantum presentation." Carter looked at the offered hand and deliberately ignored it. His eyes traveled from Noah's trendy haircut to his casual shoes with theatrical disdain. "You're the tech prodigy everyone's been whispering about." The question dripped with skepticism. "I expected someone a bit more professional." Noah withdrew his hand with calm dignity. "I find innovation rarely comes wearing a tie. Mr. Reynolds?" A few nearby employees glanced up, surprised by the newcomer's composure. Carter's smile hardened as he sensed an audience forming. "Cute." Carter stepped closer, invading Noah's personal space. "Let me guess. Stanford dropout, Got lucky with some app, and now you think you can play with the big boys? His voice lowered to a stage whisper. We don't really do the whole diversity hire thing here at Westwood. This isn't Silicon Valley with its alternative lifestyles and participation trophies. The targeted bigotry hung in the air. Several employees shifted uncomfortably but remained silent, unwilling to challenge the executive. Noah, however, didn't flinch. Actually, MIT and Harvard Business School, both completed with honors. Noah's voice remained level, though his eyes hardened. And my alternative lifestyle, as you put it, has nothing to do with my algorithms that are currently revolutionizing predictive market analysis. Carter's face flushed with anger at the pushback. Listen, kid, I've been making millions on Wall Street since you were learning your multiplication tables. Your little algorithm might impress some tech bloggers, but this is Westwood. We built this industry. Noah calmly pulled out his phone. Interesting perspective. Did you know financial institutions with toxic workplace cultures underperform the market by 23% over 5 years? Or that companies with diverse leadership outperform homogeneous ones by 36%? He displayed a graph on his screen. These are Westwood's numbers compared to your more progressive competitors. The pattern is concerning. The surrounding conversation died as employees strained to hear. Carter's expression darkened dangerously. Who the hell do you think you are? Coming into my house and spouting this social justice nonsense? His voice rose, drawing more attention. Security. Please escort our confused Silicon Valley friend to the exit. He seems to have wandered into the wrong building. 2 security guards approached immediately. One placed a firm hand on Noah's shoulder. Sir, I need you to come with me. Noah didn't resist but maintained eye contact with Carter. Sometimes the most valuable algorithm is the one that identifies outdated systems before they collapse, he said quietly. The guards began leading Noah toward the elevators, creating a scene that drew every eye in the vast marble lobby. Employees and clients whispered behind cupped hands. Carter's triumphant smirk returned as he watched the disruption to his domain being removed. Stop right there, the commanding voice echoed across the lobby. Morgan Harrington, CEO of Westwood Financial, strode purposefully from the executive elevator bank. At 60, Morgan carried the gravitas of decades at the pinnacle of finance, her tailored charcoal suit and silver hair projecting authority without ostentation. The security guards froze instantly. Carter's smug expression faltered. Morgan approached Noah with an extended hand. Mr. Chen-Williams, I apologize profoundly for this misunderstanding. You are our honored guest today. She shot a glacial look toward Carter. Mr. Reynolds, my office. Now. The entire lobby had gone silent, dozens of eyes watching the drama unfold. Morgan turned to address the gathering crowd with deliberate volume. For those who haven't been informed, Noah Chen-Williams is not merely a potential partner. He's here to evaluate whether Westwood Financial meets his standards for acquisition. The revelation rippled through the space like an electric current. Carter's face drained of color. Acquisition, he stammered. That's impossible. This kid can't possibly... This kid, Morgan interrupted sharply, is the founder and CEO of Quantum Dynamics, currently valued at $30 billion. His predictive algorithm has helped his existing partners outperform the market by over 400% in the past year alone. Murmurs swept through the gathered employees. Noah stood calmly at the center of the storm, his expression revealing nothing. Morgan continued, her voice carrying to every corner. Mr. Chen-Williams was recently named Forbes 30 Under 30 and Financial Technology Revolutionary of the Year. More importantly, the board has provisionally approved selling him controlling interest in Westwood, subject to his final decision. Carter swayed slightly, gripping the edge of a nearby desk for support. The board can't possibly. The board voted unanimously last night. Morgan cut in. Everyone except you, Carter, as you were unreachable during your dinner at Le Bernardin. The implications crashed over Carter in visible waves. He had just publicly humiliated the person who might soon control his career and the institution he had spent decades climbing. Noah finally spoke, addressing Morgan rather than Carter. "I believe we have a meeting scheduled. Perhaps we should proceed. I'm particularly interested in discussing Westwood's corporate culture and values alignment." The pointed comment wasn't lost on anyone present. Morgan nodded and gestured toward the executive elevator. "Of course, the board is waiting." She paused, adding with steel in her voice, "Carter, you'll join us as well. I believe you've made yourself an essential part of this conversation." As they entered the elevator, Noah stood perfectly composed while Carter tugged nervously at his collar. The doors closed on the tableau: youth and tradition, prejudice and possibility, the past and future of finance sharing the same small space, rising toward a confrontation that would reshape them all. The executive boardroom of Westwood Financial projected power through understated luxury: hand-carved walnut table, butter-soft leather chairs, and floor-to-ceiling windows framing Manhattan's skyline. Board members arranged themselves along both sides of the table while Morgan took her position at the head, gesturing for Noah to take the seat of honor opposite her. Carter was directed to a chair against the wall, physically removed from the table, a clear symbolic demotion. Noah connected his laptop to the presentation system with practiced efficiency. His overview of the quantum algorithm revealed extraordinary complexity translated into elegant simplicity. Board members leaned forward, captivated by projections showing how Noah's technology could potentially triple Westwood's profitability within 18 months. When the technical presentation concluded, Noah closed his laptop and shifted tone. "Before we discuss acquisition terms, I need to address something fundamental." His gaze swept the room before settling on Carter. "Financial algorithms are mathematical expressions of values. What happened in your lobby this morning was also an expression of values." A uncomfortable silence descended. Morgan nodded for him to continue. Noah's voice remained measured but took on emotional depth. "At 16, I came out to my wealthy conservative family. That night, I was told to leave and never return. My father, CEO of a company not unlike this one, said I no longer existed to him. I slept in my car for months, worked 3 jobs to put myself through school, and built my company from nothing." Several board members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Carter stared fixedly at the floor. "The financial industry has historically rewarded a narrow definition of identity and success." Noah continued, "I developed my algorithm not just to predict markets, but to prove that outsiders, people dismissed and underestimated, could transform the very institutions that excluded them." Morgan leaned forward. "Westwood wants to evolve. Mr. Chen-Williams, your experience this morning shows we have significant work to do, but we're committed to change." Carter finally spoke, his voice strained with forced professionalism. "While I apologize for any misunderstanding, Westwood has certain traditions and standards. Traditions of exclusion, standards of prejudice." Noah interrupted quietly. "Tell me, Mr. Reynolds, do you remember a teenager who once lived on Maple Avenue in Greenwich, Connecticut? A boy whose father ran Kingston Capital?" Carter's face went ashen. His lips parted, but no sound emerged. "The house had a distinctive red door," Noah continued, his eyes never leaving Carter's face. "There was a treehouse in the backyard where 2 brothers used to read comic books together." The board members exchanged confused glances as Carter gripped the arms of his chair. A dawning recognition crept across his features, followed by something approaching horror. "Before I was Noah Chen-Williams, before I took my mother's maiden name and rebuilt my life, I had another name, another family." Noah's voice remained steady despite the emotional weight behind his words. "A family that included an older half-brother who stood silent while his parents cast out a 16-year-old boy for the crime of being himself." The revelation hung in the air like suspended glass. Carter's breathing grew audible in the silence as 12 years of carefully constructed separation collapsed between them. "You don't recognize me, do you?" "Carter Reynolds Williams," Noah asked softly. Carter's professional facade crumbled completely. "Jamie," he whispered, using a name Noah had abandoned years ago. That's not, you can't be. Chua nodded once, confirmation enough. I legally changed my name after sleeping in my car outside MIT. I took Mom's maiden name, Chen, cut ties with everyone who knew me before. Started over. The boardroom remained perfectly still. Witnesses to a private reckoning made public. Morgan and the board members exchanged stunned glances as the family drama unfolded before them. You were at the dinner table, Carter said, his voice hollow with remembrance. Dad said those things, and I just sat there. You did more than sit there, Noah corrected gently. You agreed with him, said the family name couldn't be associated with, what was the term, lifestyle choices? You helped pack my things while Mom cried in her room. Carter's carefully cultivated image, the Wall Street power broker, the master of his domain, dissolved completely. His shoulders slumped as 12 years of buried shame surfaced. I didn't know what happened to you, he whispered. We were told never to speak your name again. Noah's expression softened slightly. I'm not here for revenge. Carter, if that were my goal, I could have destroyed you without ever walking into this building. He turned to address the entire board. I'm interested in acquiring Westwood not to punish the past, but to transform the future. Morgan broke the silence. Why reveal this personal connection now, Mr. Chen-Williams? Because real change requires honest confrontation. Noah answered. Financial algorithms identify patterns to predict outcomes. Human systems work the same way. The pattern of exclusion that played out in your lobby this morning is the same pattern that destroys families and diminishes institutions. Breaking that pattern requires making the invisible visible. Carter finally looked up. His eyes reddened. What happens now? That depends on you. Noah replied, I'd pay. My acquisition offer stands. With conditions, Westwood will implement comprehensive DEI initiatives, establish scholarship programs for LGBTQ youth in finance, and create a foundation supporting young people rejected by their families. He paused. And you, Carter, will help lead these efforts, if you choose to stay. 1 year later, Westwood Financial, under Noah's leadership, had become a case study in corporate transformation. The institution maintained its financial success while pioneering inclusive practices that other firms raced to adopt. Carter, after initially considering resignation, had become an unexpected advocate, channeling his executive skills into building the Family Reconciliation Foundation that now supported hundreds of displaced LGBTQ youth. The half-brothers would never recover the innocence of those days in the treehouse, but they had built something new, a bridge across years of silence that offered others a path forward. Have you ever had the chance to transform pain into purpose? Or witness someone turn rejection into revolution? Share your story in the comments below. And if this tale of reinvention and reconciliation moved you, subscribe to Heart Stories, where we believe that the true algorithm of success isn't coded in computers, but in our capacity to see beyond appearances, prejudice, and painful histories to recognize the authentic value in every human being.